All right. What's happening, everybody? I hope everybody's having a wonderful Saturday. Hockey, 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 family first. And we've been out running around playing hockey. My son is playing for the Little Penguins at the Lemieux Center. And his coach is Tyler Kennedy, who used to play for the Pittsburgh Penguins for many, many years. So super fun to do that. But that is not why we are here this morning. No, 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 no. This morning, we are going to do a rundown of what's happening, what's next, and where we are headed in this world built on centuries-old technologies powered by today's construction technology. We're talking about a fifth-generation builder, David Rengley, Rengley AG, designing into modular tech with Nick Gomez from AO Architects. Also, air is the new poop by Lloyd Alter and Tree Hugger. And then we're talking about leading edge technology, Amar Rafat, Windover Construction, a 360-degree view. Michael Matthews from Assembly Work will also be on. Emissions Down, Power Up, Katrin Klingberg will be on BS Friday. And then guess what? Recession time? Question mark. Greg Ugaldi and Dr. Robert Dietz will be coming up on the show as well. We got the IWBCC in Greenbelt happening and so much more. So much more. So save room for the second cup of Joe as we deliver all these news during a brunch time. It's almost lunchtime. I guess it is lunchtime. Brunch time, maybe if you're in California. Want a coffee with Dave. So why don't we hop into it? Hopefully everybody can hear me just well and good while you're out there. We're going to run through. I'm going to show you highlights of some of the shows that we had this week. And again, we will consistently push out what's happening next week. But before we hop into some of the shows, I want everybody to know, as we like to do on Dave Cooper Live, we have gotten some special discounts for IWBC at Greenbuild. So there you have it, everybody. If you're not planning on attending November 1st to the 3rd in San Francisco, you're wrong. You should attend. You should definitely attend. It's going to be great, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And guess who else is going to be there? That's right, myself. And you get $100 off if you use discount code IWBCCR. That is right. IWBCCR will get you $100 off of the registration. And this, my friends, has turned out to be a big event. Not only do you have IWBC that used to be in Boston by itself, they are now partnered with Greenbuild. And guess what? Greenbuild has doubled this, if not tripled the attendance. It's going to be around 30,000 people. And the beauty of it is, they have more vendors and more people showing up this year than they have in the past. And I love it. Guess who is moderating several shows? I'm super excited about this. So here we have it. I am the moderator for Offsite Construction Ready for Automation. Is Offsite Construction Ready for Automation? Wednesday, November 2nd, 1:30 to 3 p.m. Track 3. You want to check that out. And I will also be moderating for Productizing Multifamily Modular Construction, Thursday, November 3rd, 11 a.m. to 12:30. Track 2. If you want to see who's on these panels, you should go look. This next one's no stranger, though. I am also moderating Jerry McCaughey's keynote for the Q&A session. I will be sitting down with Jerry, and we will be taking your questions from the audience November 3rd, 1:30 to 2:30 in the general sessions room. And I have to tell you, I've really been enjoying these moderating sessions. They have been a lot of fun moderating these sessions, so I can't wait to continue on doing it moving forward. So, all right, what did we have going on this week? Let me go to my amazing banners that we have set up today, and I'm going to walk you through today's journey of what we have going on and what we did. I'm still on my coffee. David Rengley from Switzerland, also throughout Germany, right? Sustainable prefab timber construction is not a modern method of construction. Is that true or is that false? That is the question, but that's what we talked about. So let's look at a couple highlights from David Rengley, shall we?
Well, there's
Please
some
let me
other
know you can hear
areas,
it.
smaller ones like traditional carpentry. There is flooring that we do and so on. But I think the volume is exactly, I think to be exact, I mean, the volume really comes from panels And I'd like to be clear here, while everyone is talking about mass timber, therefore CLT panels, we really believe that also timber is a very valuable resource, and therefore we build timber buildings. We want to build as many buildings as possible, but at the same time use as little wood as possible. Does that make sense? Like from a sustainability point of view, I'd rather make 100 buildings with 20% of wood instead of 2 or 7 buildings with 100% thick wood walls. So we're we're doing basically a stick frame prefab.
Stick frame prefab is what they're talking about. And as we get into this conversation with David Rengley, we get further into what that truly means and how they're looking at sustainability and what they're doing and taking their part for reducing the carbon footprint and the sustainability, not only in their panelization manufacturing facilities, but also in their new modular facility they're getting ready to build. So, and they are looking for some people to work in that modular facility in Germany. So if you're looking for a job and you want to do something over in Europe for a while, they hire internationally. Wouldn't be the first person from the United States that they've hired on their team. That plant is opening up in 2024. They are bringing people in now. All right, let's hop into a little bit more of what David had to say. If you guys want to do that, here we go.
What we're seeing here in Switzerland is that this prefab panelized system works exceptionally well for us.
Yeah.
However, if we look at prefabrication and all the benefits of it, if you take it to the 2.0 level,
right,
the only way to go is basically if you, instead of creating a wall, you create an entire room in the factory, with the benefit that all the other trades that come in, whether that be the electrician or the plumber, they still also don't have to go to the building site anymore, but they will come to the factory. They work in warmth, in the dry weather, in a good climate, and they have all the tools handy. They have all the machines ready, and we can really streamline the process there as well.
Always sunny and 70 in the factories. That's right. We want to get the younger generation into this industry. Let's get them out of the cold. That's just one of the benefits of offsite modular construction, panelized construction, mass timber, whatever it is we'd like to call it. So there you have some more David Rengley there. Let's see what David Rengley has to say to wrap this up as well. So put him back on the screen here, and we will hop into a little bit more.
Anymore, but they will come to the fact can really streamline the process there as well.
Perfect. All right. So with that, that was the last on that. We're going to get into our next conversation with AO Architects. That's right. Wednesday, we had Nicholas Gomez on, Principal Director of Modular Design and Construction. AO Architects. Guess what? Guess what? Maybe I need a sound effect for the guess what on that one. Who knows? How about this? Guess what? AO Construction has 50 modular projects happening right now, either in design or in construction. Super cool to hear about that. So let's hear what Nick has to say in regards to all of this, shall we?
Using volumetric modular, you're going to want to make sure it's a good fit for the site, because it may be not a good fit. There may be overhead power lines, obstruction. So just starting from the beginning, when you have that first capacity study, to see if laying out a project with that particular modular typology is right. And then if it is right, then, entitle the project with that particular typology. So you're not having to go back later and make your building taller, right? So you want to make sure that you don't entitle something that is not appropriate for that particular form of construction later.
All right. You don't want to entitle it. You want to make sure for modular construction that all the planning happens up front. We talk about this all the time. And you want to make sure that the site is conducive to modular up front. So there's a little bit from Nick. But there's more. We got more from Nick too, and loving the new format here. Tell me if you like how we're doing these videos. We're trying it differently, trying to really dial it in and make sure we give you all the highlights. The highlights not the details, the highlights. You want to watch, you got to go check it out. And you also got to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you're not subscribed. All right, let's see a little bit more of Nick and what he had to say today. For the owners, developers, builders who don't necessarily want to use offsite construction, like what metrics or case studies do you do or do you offer or share with them to lead them towards wanting to do modular construction? Like, why should they try it? What do you tell them?
Yeah, I mean, it's if you're looking at just kind of the market, right? I mean, we go through cycles where there's a shortage of contractors, right, in the field, and a shortage of labor. We have to really figure out how to deliver projects through various means and methods, right? And just having that in your arsenal, that you have the ability to pivot to go to factory built construction to deliver the project faster. I think it's worth the exploration and worth educating yourselves on. And yeah, we look at it. I say make it modular possible, and it's easy to demodularize a project than it is to modularize a project. That if you're not thinking of and designing the project to be modular, you're not going to have a successful project later on, and it's very difficult to pivot. But if you design it to be modular possible, it's a lot easier to pivot later on.
So what kind of tools do you use when you're in the design process to design modular? Are you using the digital twin? Are you using BIM, Revit? What do you guys use to make sure you have a successful project?
So we use both. So early on, sometimes designers are working in AutoCAD, but we quickly will pivot to BIM, and that's what the manufacturers use. So we'll be sharing a model with the manufacturer later on. But either if it's CAD or Revit, it's really about the disciplined approach to designing the project. Understanding how the buildings go together, how things line up across the corridor, how things line up vertically, and so just designing for that method. So, all right, let's talk about trends and growth. So designing for that method, and something that I thought was really interesting that nobody's really said on the show is, design for modular all the time, almost is what he's saying, or for an offsite project. And then if it doesn't work for that project, it's easier to turn it into a site build project or a panel project than it is the other way around. So if you design it with modular and maybe the budget doesn't work or something doesn't happen, you're not redesigning it again because the budget on the site work went way over budget or what have you. If you design with modular in mind right up front, well, guess what? You can do modular or site. It's really not going to affect you too much. Now, I'm sure some engineers and some of the structural folks out there will disagree with my comments on that. But yeah, I liked what he had to say. So let's see some more. Seeing growth in the modular builds, or are you seeing more requests for modular and offsite construction? What do you get? What's the feel? What's the vibe on the modular market for you right now? It's hot. We're at the front lines, right? So I mean, the amount of developers who come to us and say, we really need to pivot to modular, and so we're helping them out and we're studying projects for them, and we have right now 50 projects that are using modular, and I mean all ranges from early design, concept design to in construction right now. So we've had people come to us with projects that they want to learn how to execute it using modular.
All right. Record scratch. You said you have 50 modular projects in the design phase right now?
We have 50 projects that are they're in the design phase and in construction and being completed right now. So all phases.
50. I said it earlier in my opening monologue and opening discussions, but 50. That's exciting. And I think it's going to even be more, looming recession. Some say it's here, some say it's coming, but the reality is this: modular, offsite, panelize, it always gains more traction when we have downturns because we lose more labor. We have to have more focus to get the work done. And so not hoping for it. That's not what I'm saying. but it usually turns out better for the offsite industry because it does put more eyeballs on what we're doing, because everybody's trying to figure out how to get to the next level on that for sure. So, I think that's the
you have to
the side of it that we need to look at. So there's some good that comes out of all bad, and trust me, I've seen myself in some bad situations around the world in my earlier years, and there's always something good that comes out of it as well. All right, so there you have it. There's a little inside of the conversation that we had with Nicholas Gomez, and he's director of modular design at AO. So check it out if you haven't seen it. And then BS Friday. We had a little bit of a change this week. Last minute, our guest had a family emergency, and that goes first. I found myself at the ER with one of my kids this week with a busted up hand from hockey. So I get it. Things happen, and that's what we have to do. We have to pivot a lot sometimes. However, we had somebody on our show not too long ago. His name is Lloyd Alter. Air is the new poop. If you just Google tree hugger, you will see a whole lot about this gentleman named Lloyd Alter. And he's a lot of fun to listen to. Lots of fun to listen to, right? He says we need to take our air as seriously as our water. And there's some parts of this show it's going to make you, oh my God, you're going to see a mass exodus of people living in high-rise buildings. I mean, Lloyd walks around, he's the life of the party, with a sensor that talks about what the CO2 is in the rooms that he's in. So it's super cool stuff. The story of Jon Snow and the pump handle of public health, something we're going to talk about. Engineering and science dramatically reduced deaths. Let's get into it with Lloyd Alter. Let's put him on the screen, and then we can discuss afterwards.
Completely ignore everything the industry says because they're liars. And they're cheats, and they want to keep selling what they're selling.
That's right.
And if it took 50 years to get 70 years to get plumbing, and if it took 50 years to get lead banned, we have to look at what are the other things that are hurting us now.
What are the other things that are hurting us now? That is what Lloyd was saying. So forget everything you've learned. And he tells amazing stories. He's super educated on this stuff. And he tells amazing stories in regards to, and they're not stories, they're facts, actually, water pollution. He gives some real world examples of what has happened, not only here in the United States, but around the world. And who would have thought? I mean, literally, who would have thought that air is the new poop? And when you understand and break that down, I know it sounds kind of silly, and you listen to him talk about it, starts making a little bit of sense. It's almost a little scary in that sense. All right, let's listen to a little bit more of what Lloyd has to say.
So the first might be volatile organic compounds, VOCs. You can go and buy low VOC paint, and everybody should buy low VOC paint. VOCs, a lot of them can lead to eye, nose, and throat irritation, headaches, damage to central nervous system, and even cancer, and some are absorbed through the skin. Why are they even selling paints with VOCs still in them? Because the companies make money on them and they keep doing it. So we should all know, and it's the same with sofas were filled, all the foam and everything was filled with flame retardants. Everybody knew the flame retardants were a problem. Why were they there? Because in the 50s and 60s and 70s, everybody smoked and fires would start. And so they convinced them to put pounds and pounds and pounds of bromine into brominated flame retardants into everything. So
and they outgas. And think about the proximity of your face, right? Your breathing mouth. Think about the proximity of that to your sofa, to your pillow, to your mattress. And when that leaches into the air, you're consuming that in, and that filter that you have called the lung, right?
Right.
Is now poisoned by this. And so a lot of times they'll take wonderful natural materials and they'll put the sprinkle dust of additives in it. And that is what we call caustic.
Yeah, and who was fighting it? Industry, the bromine industry in Salt Lake City, and in the Dead Sea Industries in Israel. That's the biggest producer of bromine, and they're all sitting there saying, "Oh, you got to have these flame retardants." And I remember having posts, kids holding banners, children in favor of fire retardants, because it was all ridiculous.
All ridiculous. Fire retardants, flame retardants. This is a good show, quite honestly. For somebody hopping in after getting a call 10 minutes prior to us actually starting the show, as we typically do on Dave Cooper Live, we go into the panic mode of, all right, that guest's not going to show up. What are we going to do? What are we going to talk about today? We have some backups typically in line for that. And I have to tell you, with the backups, Lloyd was not part of that plan originally. We just started sending out some messages because we always want to bring you new education and new stuff that's happening. So Lloyd, big shout out to you for that one. Love it. I'm going to share a little bit more of Lloyd's conversation right here, right now. Let's do it.
I mean, David Fisman, this epidemiologist doctor who first used the phrase "air is the new poop" that I quote in the beginning of my article, just says that he says it's unconscionable that we build our apartments the way that we do, that we build them in places that we do, like next to highways, so that the outside air is full of PM2.5, but it's all unregulated. It's like plumbing before 1850.
Did we lose his sound there? I lost his sound anyhow. Not sure what's going on there. Hopefully you guys can all still hear it.
That's how we're
somewhere along the ways we lost that. But so air is the new poop. So super cool. This is all the stuff that you miss during the shows during the week. And the fun part about this is the interaction that we get to have with all of you while you watch the show. And we're going to get the comments and questions in just a minute, and say hi to everybody. I want to take a minute to say hi. I know there's a bunch of you out there today. Maybe I need to do my show at noon. Oh boy, another noon show, 4 days a week. I'm just trying to think, like, there's never 2 days straight of us not doing a show. Sometimes there is when we have a lot of hockey. Let's talk about what we have coming up this week. Super excited. So, dun, 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 dun. How about we do the, let's see, we can do the applause. I can do crickets. I can do chimes. What's next? I like that. What's next? Okay. Monday. Leading edge construction tech, Ammar Rafat. Now, Ammar has been on our show once before, and he is absolutely amazing. So looking forward to that. So Ammar, we cannot wait to have you on the show. Wednesday, a 360-degree view for prefab success with Michael Matthews from Assemblage Works. That's right. Michael Matthews from Assemblage Works will be on the show. So looking forward to seeing Michael. And if you're not familiar with Assemblage Work, you will be this Wednesday, because we're going to have him on the show and we're going to talk about all of that. And BS Friday coming up. Emissions down, power up, kicking off the Catering Klingenberg, CEO, founder of FIAS. That's right. We are kicking off FIASCon. Oh, yeah, FIASCon. And guess who else is a speaker at FIASCon? Mark Bare Naked Willie. That's right. Mark Bare Naked Willie. He has 3 speeches in a row. And the funny part about it is they're one after another. So he's got the pressure on to really make it happen. And the other things coming up that we are going to be at the IWC Green Build Conference, November 1st through the 3rd. So remember, earlier in the show, I did a discount code. Make sure you check it out. We also have the International Builders Show coming up in Las Vegas, January 31st through February 2nd. If you're not going to the Vegas show, you've lost your mind. This show is becoming more and more offsite friendly, more and more green, sustainable friendly. It's time these worlds all come together and we start working together to make it better. I absolutely love the International Builders Show, not only for the people that we get to see there, but to watch it starting to grow and expand. And I also think Ken Semler from Impressa. Anybody out there know Ken Semler? Does anybody out there know Ken Semler? Ken Semler from Impressa is going to have a house there. And guess what? Also, Von Buckley is going to have a module at the IWBCC and Greenbuild Conference in San Francisco. Like I said, it is picking up and it is working out to be amazing. Then, You can find us in Bau in Munich, Germany, April 2023. There is 250,000 people go to that show that I saw. 250,000 people. And then that's not it. There's a lot more stuff coming up. We have been retained to do our international tour of Germany, Austria, Italy, Switzerland in July of 2023 and part of August. So for the entire month of July and part of August, Dave Cooper Live will be in Switzerland, Germany, Austria, and Italy, showcasing innovation in construction and showcasing the trade schools and sharing our journey with you. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we get to take our children too. So we're going to have kind of a global tour. Can't wait for that. Super excited for that as well. And Jen, I will put it up. I got to talking about, we also have another show in Denver coming up in a couple weeks. So if you're in Denver and you want to get together, we should probably connect, because that would be a great opportunity as well for us to do so. So, all right. So that was it. That was what we call In Case You Missed It on Dave Cooper Live. You can go to our YouTube channel, Dave Cooper Live. So youtube.com. It's right in front of me and I can't even read it. Lee. youtube.com/Dave Cooper Live. Go there, subscribe, ring the bell. If you hit the bell will tell you when we're live. I don't spam. I don't put a whole lot out there. I'd like to do more, but I'm super, super excited about it. And then we also had a breaking news, new factory opening in Germany, Templa by Rengley. Like I said earlier, they are hiring now. I'm sure Jen had that up on the screen while I was talking. All right, let's give a few quick shout outs to people that are saying hello this morning. What is happening, Mr. Basic? Hey, 2 days in a row. I'm a lucky guy. Awesome. Nice to see you, brother. I hope we can hang out soon. Still in the garage welding motorcycles. Really? Still in the garage welding motorcycles badly. So I'm assuming that you're not really good at relaying the beads. Are you welding with aluminum or are you welding with steel? Is it steel, I guess they call it? I'm super excited to know. Please tell me. Greg Ugaldi. I was texting with Greg this morning because my kids are playing for the Penguins, or one of them, the Penguins, the little Penguins. Let me be very, very clear. But one of his coaches is Tyler Kennedy, so he's all pumped up about that. Tyler Kennedy was a professional player, and I had to take a picture because Greg and his family and kids are all big into hockey. And Greg, just like with the NAHB, donated most of his kids' childhoods to not only coaching hockey, but sitting on the boards and helping run youth hockey. So, Greg, that's what I love about you, man. You're the overachiever. All right. Let's see what else we got. Ground to earth, all Googles come up with flat theories. Henry, you're just out there doing what you do. When I search, you should the side stand cutoff switches open circuit or ground to earth? All Googles come up with is flat earth theories. I don't know, man. I don't know. What else we got in here, everybody? Yes, that's right. IWBC 2022. We will be there. Oh, buenos dias des Honduras. Did I say that right, Gilbert? Is that pretty good? Buenos dias de Honduras. Hello from Honduras. Good to see you. Tiffany McCall. Man, I know, Tiffany. I missed you at MHBA. We try and be everywhere we can. And this year, it was just too hard to, even though I'm only 3 hours away, it's a poor mistake. But, as much as I wanted to go out there, we just had, I had to take a break, spend some time with the kids and the family. I will be in New York, everybody, Tuesday and Wednesday. I will be in New York City. That's right. So if you're in New York City and you'd like to connect, I will be at the NAB show, I think it's the National Association of Broadcasters. I got to go there. I got to figure out how to do it better. Just like everybody else learns, we're going to do that for ourselves as well. So super excited about that. So Tiffany McCall, I miss you as well. Thank you for joining in. MIG Dave, don't have the aluminum correct spelling skills. Got it. I know aluminum's hard to weld with. Not easy. You get that down. Send us some screenshots. We'll take a look at it. All right. Well, I hope that was a quick wrap up of what's been happening this past week. What could be happening next week? Yep. And what's coming up in the future. So I hope everybody enjoys their Saturday. I hope this new format, if you like it, let us know. Trying to run through and just give you some highlights of the show. I know everybody out there does not always have time to watch our shows in their entirety, even on the weekend. So we figured we'd try and do something quick, fast, give you some highlights, Unfortunately, it's not all the detail. The good stuff's in between, but hopefully it gets you from point A to point B. And we just keep going from there. So that's really a wrap, everybody. I'm going to get back to my Saturday. We got another hockey game this afternoon at 2:40. So that's where I will be at. And for the rest of you out there, thanks for watching. Really appreciate everybody. I hope everybody has an awesome, awesome day. Have a good day, everybody. We appreciate y'all tuning in and joining us here on Dave Cooper Live as we build out this new studio. Have some fun. I got my American flag mat. I'm loving it. We'll see you next time, everybody. Bye now.